Hey Weirdos! Today, we're renting a Tesla Model 3 from Hertz to find out what this is all about, how it works, what are the cars like, and what are the rules and regulations. Let's get into it. Well, this is a new one. This is kind of aspiring YouTube guy overload. I'm actually filming 3 different videos all at once. First video is we've had an issue with Phineas. It's in the shop for repair. Not an accident. Details to come. I've got a loaner from Tesla, but I can't take that across the border. So I'm here at the airport at Hertz renting another Model 3. Picking up Friday, returning it on Sunday. So I'm doing a Hertz rental video and what that experience is like. So far, interesting. Why do I need to go to the States? Well, the answer is with video number 3, which is we're going to Crypticon in Seattle. Basically a horror-themed Comic-Con. Video number 3.
2, 1. Oh!
So we've rented a car from Hertz for tomorrow. And after I made the appointment, I called them because I wanted to make sure that A, we were getting a Model 3.
Seinfeld, you made a reservation for a mid-size, and she's a small.
And 2, I just wanted to make sure that I could cross the border with it. And so on their website it says you can cross the border, but the person on the phone, when I called the 1-800 number, was clearly somewhere in the south of the United States. And we're like, nope, can't do that. It's like, but it says that on your website. Nope, can't do that.
Let me speak with my supervisor.
Now I'm at the airport a day ahead of time so I can go talk to them to find out if I can do it, because I could have sworn I've rented from Hertz before and been able to cross the border with it. So we're doing that right now just to make sure that everything is fine, and then tomorrow I'll come back, pick up the car, hopefully. Our backup plan is that Avis also has Teslas. The reason? I like driving Teslas. And it costs a little bit more, but I really would rather have a nicer car than pay money for gas. So that's why this is happening. So let's go find out and see if we can do this. So what happened? I left the airport because it cost me $5.50 to park. It cost me $5.50 to get the answer, but I did get the answer, and common sense prevails, is that both Avis and Hertz will allow you to take the car anywhere in the United States and Canada. So reassurance, I was 99% sure, but it feels good. Now it just means like I have hours to make a change. If something was wrong, we could have a backup plan. Funny enough though, another thing that was said, which is hilarious, is that if you rent an EV from Hertz, you have to bring it back at 100%, which is not even possible because there's no chargers right there at the Hertz. Like, you can't. You just can't, nor should you. And Hertz said bring it back anything plus 80%. Avis said bring it back 70% and up, which are great. When I said to the Hertz guy that people are saying 100%, he actually burst out laughing. I'm off to play ball hockey, so I'm showing up in like gym gear, and I mean, I don't know. They're judging you at the rental place. So Hertz said $350 deposit, when on the website it says $200, and then Avis said $750 deposit. Nuts. Yeah. So I don't know. Tomorrow I guess I'll suit and tie up. No, I'm not going to, but it's just funny, and maybe it's nothing and whatever. But also the last item is I asked about how does the charging work, because as a Tesla driver we got our Tesla account, but both Avis and Hertz say that go ahead, use a supercharger, it'll get billed to them, to their account, and then they'll deduct that from our deposit. We're learning a lot. And it's funny because I've never done, rented a Tesla before. Had an opportunity, but when I got a courtesy car, I had the option to pay a little bit more to get a Model 3. I didn't do it at the time. But anyways, that's another story. And now we're getting a Model 3 long range. Have it tomorrow. I'm going to have 2 Teslas in my possession, plus the one that's getting fixed, which we actually own. Rich in Teslas. Madness. That's furthering our discussion. We stopped off out of this little park that's out by the airport, which I never realized they actually have these really cool sculptures that look like paper airplanes, and all of the pathways in are runways. They're made up to look like runways, so this is really adorable. They've got some little stuff and activities, little things for kids to do when you're hanging out here. So it's a great spot. It's a cool spot to come out and hang out and watch airplanes fly over top. But I never actually stopped off and walked out here to check out the little paper airplanes. All right, so I think we're here over in 14. Second white Tesla of the week. Just gonna take some pictures of it. So I'm inside the Hertz rental now, and they've given me a Hertz tag with the Tesla key on the back, and then a QR code which I can scan for the app, as well as there's a QR code here on screen. When I got the other car from Tesla, I just scanned this and it added this vehicle to the app, which is absolutely amazing. It means you don't have to have this Tesla key sitting down here the entire time while you're driving. So that's a really, really nice touch. Something that I was just not aware of at all. The car looks really, really great. I've taken some photos from the outside. I'm now going to do the inside as well. This QR code did nothing. It took me to the Hertz website, which didn't even actually load. So to add this phone to my app, I actually signed the QR code, or I scanned the QR code here, and that took me. Now it's confusing because I've got Phineas, and then I've got 2 other white Teslas on here. One is called Model 3, the other one's called Tesla. So yeah, it didn't take me long to figure out which was which, but it would have been nice to get a different color because it would have just looked so pretty in the app. So I think I'm ready to go. I've done all the photos, and I might go back inside just to make sure, because I thought he said to go look at the car, take some pictures. So I just need to verify that. The inside looks great. It's nice. I think it's at least a 2021 or 2. It's exactly the same as our car, with the updated layout. I wonder if I can find out what the year is, but everything looks lovely and clean inside. Nice to have the power liftgate. What was funny about the one that we got from Tesla is that this is not here. So kind of strange, and they didn't give us floor mats. Hey, it looks like I found somebody's insurance paper in here. This is funny, I flipped up the mat. Like, do not remove. Don't do it. I really want to. I'm gonna go find out about this piece of paper and see if that has to stay in the car or if that's just previous renters' information. It's got a couple little scratches there in the back seat, but nothing major. I just want to document that. Funny, this car actually came with mats, which is nice. So for the most part, the inside of the car is very clean, which is great to see. It's a little dirty on the outside, which is to be expected, I guess. Also, let me check the rate of charge. What are we arriving with? Or 97%. Look at that. So anything over 80 was what was acceptable. Just gonna do one more thing. Open. There's a pin on the glove box. Okay. Pin on the glove box. Interesting. So I've just driven it a couple of feet, well, like 50 feet, pulled over because already I need to make changes. This was in standard, which is fine, but I tend to, when I have a passenger drive, chill. I also prefer sport. And then I'm gonna put it in park because roll is where I like it to be, just a better experience. I'm dying to hit the download and update the car, but I won't be doing that because I just won't be doing that. So I'm just checking a couple of the settings here. They've got it charged to 100, like 97%, which is just bananas. So I'm gonna move that back down to 80%. When I return it, I'll probably charge it to 90%. But it's funny of what folks are doing with these cars. Just sort of a general understanding that folks don't necessarily have. I'm going to assume that the autopilot was probably never added to this car. The free self-driving, I should say, was probably never added to this car. My phone is showing up there. Just going to quickly go through these controls and get on it, because I got to get back to work. Just one other thing, while I was driving, I noticed that the auto turn signals were set to off, so I put that onto auto cancel. So when you change lanes, your signal turns off. You're not driving like you're from Florida. Nice little feature that not everybody knows is there. And I guess when people are renting these cars, they're maybe not super knowledgeable about the Tesla. So I'm fixing everything, making it good for the next person after me. So to follow up on the glove box, it is logged out. Shannon made an excellent point as I was calling her. I just sort of mentioned it off the cuff, and she's like, if we cross the border and they need to get into the glove box and I can't open it, they're gonna rip this sucker apart. So realize that there's this here. If I click on this, if I put in my Tesla account, email address and password, this can reset it and should be able to unlock it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and try that out. So when I brought this up to the guy, he basically said, yeah, it's fine. Nothing. Nope, don't know it.
You're on your own.
So one of the other things that I'm discovering is that a couple of other things, just default things not set. The walk away door lock, not enabled. It's just a super nice feature, and probably a really great feature for somebody that's not familiar with how to lock and unlock a Tesla. You always have to use the key to do that. So walk away just means you get out, you walk away, and within a handful of steps, it locks automatically. It's just a great feature. Again, not turned on. Just the more and more that I see it, the less educated I see all of the staff. I don't know why you wouldn't want this turned on as a default, because it's just going to protect the vehicle and be great. You can't walk away and lock the key inside. It won't lock, but just a great feature. And to go through a little bit more further down the page, lock confirmation sound. So as you walk away, you're going to hear it chirp. You're going to know that it's locked. It's a great little reminder. Shannon and I are always just aware of this as we're walking away, because sometimes we've left phones in the car and the car sits open. As I walk away, lights flash, mirrors fold in, baby's locked up. Is this what it's like for Jerry Seinfeld when you have multiple cars? So we're going on a day trip tomorrow to go to Crypticon. So this is the Hertz car that we have, the dual motor, which I gotta say, I'm absolutely loving it. It's incredible. This other white Tesla, of course, is the one that we got from Tesla as a loaner, which is what we own, which is the Standard Range Plus. Also a fine automobile.
But ours is still better because it's a newer version.
Yeah. So rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. Gotta move this. But yeah, too many cars. And I only have two. And actually, I don't have any, I have one. It's just not here right now. We have none right now. We got none.
Wally World. He has a Wally World sticker on his car.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Amazing.
Awesome.
The one challenge of renting a car is you don't remember what it looks like, and you're looking for the wrong car.
And I'm already panicking because I don't see it. Do you think La Quinta's bells actually ring
God, I hope so.
right at midnight?
La Quinta's bells. Sounds like Taco Bell.
That's the thing you have to pay at midnight that goes off.
That's when they charge your card. So we're down to the last portion of our trip. I'm returning the car to Hertz and have speculation about what was going on with the glove box. Turns out all of the Hertz glove boxes in the Teslas are locked. And I think the reasoning is they've got the SD card in there. So they're trying to make sure that you're not getting in there in case you get into an accident and give you the opportunity to delete the footage. However, from a privacy standpoint, you can actually delete all the footage if you're aware, if you're familiar with. I can actually also show you how to do it. In terms of why this kind of mattered to us, because generally speaking, if I was just renting the car, I wouldn't have really cared. But because we were crossing the border, we didn't want to be in a situation where we have our car searched and they can't get into the glove box. What do you mean you can't open up the glove box? I don't want to get into that conversation. And have them rip it open because that sounds suspicious. And then now all of a sudden I've got a damaged glove box in a Hertz rental car. So if you actually look this up, there's a way to open this without the PIN code. It involves taking off the side panel and then using like an Allen key or a sort of a hooked shaped object, something relatively thin, you can kind of finesse it open. I didn't want to pull off the side because, again, I didn't want to risk scratching anything, but you can do it. And our thoughts were, if this happened at the border, then we would just show them the YouTube video and hopefully they would have such a device. We also thought about just bringing an Allen key along and trying it out. Fortunately, in crossing, we didn't have any issues like that whatsoever. So one thing that I wanted to point out is when we went into the Century to see the clips, we found all of this other footage from past users. So going back to December, we found people going on a trip to Banff, spent New Year's Eve in Alberta. Somebody went on a road trip. And you can easily click on all of this footage and see what's going on. Which is great when you own the car. If you're less aware, in some instances, this was in a neighborhood. Maybe you were staying at a friend's house and you were parked there. So, you don't want to do that. So you can just load up every video and hit delete. Or if you want to delete absolutely everything, click on safety and you've got the ability here to delete all the Dashcam clips. So you do that, that's going to delete all of that. One other thing that I didn't say, and this was set on auto, but if you are driving this car and if you turn on Honk, because what that's going to do is that's going to save footage anytime you hit the horn. So when you're hitting the horn, probably when something is happening in front of you and you don't have an opportunity to go hit that. So that's going to save the file automatically. So if you were getting into an accident or something was happening, every time you save something or every time you hit the horn, it's going to automatically save that. So the other thing that I'm going to do, so for the weekend I've been using my phone, which has been fantastic, which meant I didn't have to keep this with me. We ended up doing that just in case, you don't want to be in the States and have, your phone die and all of a sudden now you can't drive the car. So Shannon actually kept this in her purse, which was great because this was cumbersome to keep in my pocket. But now that I'm handing the car in, I no longer need to have my phone here as remove this as well and then just go back to using the key. So I just have to make sure that I'm locking the car. But all I'm going to be doing is driving back to Hertz and taking care of that. So I've actually overcharged this car. I didn't want to get myself into a situation where there was any kind of argument. I don't imagine that there will be, but basically what I've done is I've overcharged. We're back up to 93%. It's going to be probably take me like 1% to get to the airport. So I'm going to hit stop charging now. I'm going to unplug, and then this round only cost me $2.07. When I got here, I was about 83%. I just wanted to have a bigger buffer so that there wasn't any opportunity for them to charge me any kind of additional rate. I've got a list of the charging, their total charging that we did. They're going to subtract that from that $350 deposit. But again, this just assures that there's no additional fee, some sort of outrageous fee at the end when, again, they wanted to charge me, I think, $35 to bring the car back. And not even worry, kind of like topping up your gas before you return another rental. This cost me $2. They said that they were going to charge me $35 for a convenience fee. Kind of insane. So I've just punched in the Vancouver International Airport. It's going to take me 9 minutes to get there. I'm actually going to lose 0%. So I might actually lose 1%. I should arrive there with 92%, which would be great. No issues there. So here we go. Let's sign it off, return it, and close up shop on this rental. This Richmond supercharger was definitely needed. It is the largest supercharger in Canada with just a ton of superchargers, plugs that you can use. I've never, ever seen it close to being full. The pain is, if you can call it that, is it's up on the top level of this garage, so you are just driving through here, and most folks just drive through here way too fast. So there's a lot of surprises as people come around these corners, so you really do have to take it slow. Not everybody remembers that, because most people are fools. But look at this tight little corner. Also,
turn left onto Alexandra Road.
The cabling is nuts. Also, I thought it was going to be much sunnier today, so I brought my sunglasses, didn't bring my case, have to carry everything with me after I drop off this car, so it's a little bit of a light rain with my Ray-Bans. It's got to be one of my favorite stock photos. Nice duct tape work. What is that holding together? I don't want you to know my Prius is a Toyota. Interesting. This is funny here. If you're renting a car and returning it and you flew in, you're not going to do this process. This says car rental return on the right. That's a lie. You're going to follow this through, and I know this sounds crazy. You're going to want to get into the left lane. And I'll show you why. You're going to want to stay in the sign. You're actually going to look for the sign that says parking. Because when you actually get down here, then all of a sudden you find yourself in the shit. You're going to want to be in that left lane, mister. Don't fall for it like these losers. Kinds of people in this right lane. People that are doing the drop-off. You've got the Ubers that are always just working hard and coming to pick up their fare. And then you got the real cheapskate that won't even pay for parking. See what I'm talking about? Now all of a sudden, oh, this sign's way over here. Now I've got to get through 2 lanes of traffic. Those goddamn taxi cabs. And you know what? It's going to look like you need to get back into the middle lane. These are lies as well. This is big parking, lying to you. Oh man, this is great. I saw this on the old Instagrams where we've got a Go Canucks Go on the control tower over here by the airport. That's awesome. So yeah, you're gonna come through here. And guess what? I don't care who you are, you're gonna left lane it again. do it. Look at that. Here's a sign, left lane. Here's a second sign. Let's over in the left lane. Now the last little bit, which isn't a lie. Oh my God, I totally fucked that up. I was wrong. Stay in the right lane. So you're gonna see the Hertz rentals, you're gonna see all of the signage. See, never even trust the guy that's giving you information. You know why? He lies too. Now the other day, I could have been a real cheapskate, but I wasn't confident in this. But I thought I might be able to sneak in here without paying for parking. And turns out I could. I probably could have ditched my car over here, came in and talked to them. But I didn't. I paid $5.50 for peace of mind. So Hertz is all the way down here at the end. Make sure you hit all of those speed bumps. There's no way around it. So Hertz returns Hertz Thrifties and dollar all the same.
I didn't realize what you were saying for a second. I was like,
Yeah, there's bunnies. So as we wrap up things here, dropped off the car, there was no issues. Very, very nice. I couldn't actually get my profile deleted from the car, which is a little irritating, a little frustrating. I'm gonna have to look into that and see how I do that. Basically, because my phone was connected and the Bluetooth was connected, you can't delete the lock, so-called lock on there. So I gotta figure out what's going on with that. But and I will show you a couple of other things back on the other car that you can do. What I'm actually doing and walking over here is I'm hoping to see a couple more bunnies. I would have loved to have had this. There was a Model Y. Next time, it costs a little bit more money, but it would have been nice. I just really want to spend some time with the Model Y. This Model Y looks like performance. They also have some Volvos, and I think there were some Polestars here too. But yeah, this would have been nice. It would have really been nice to have gotten like a black Model 3. I was having the two white cars this morning. I was actually a little bit concerned that I might take the wrong car back to Hertz. It's just too much thinking that early in the morning. So I just went back inside to confirm what the supercharging charges were going to be. That's a tough one to say. Basically, I assumed that, well, I knew that the car would be charged, the charging charges would be charged to Hertz. That's what they told me when I picked up the car. And I assumed that they would do a conversion, a Canadian exchange rate on what I had spent. And then this morning when I topped the car off, paid another $2. Turns out currently, and what they're telling me is that they're charging me the $208, which was the cost of the rental. They actually don't have any of the charging on my bill at all, which is kind of hilarious, and I don't think that they're right. So I think maybe in a couple days those charges will get figured out and probably added to my account. But she just said it's been closed out at $208. That's what's going to be closed off, and then the $350 deposit I made will be credited back at some point in the next 5 days. So we'll see what happens. Charging loophole because it happened in the States, I don't know, but she's giving me an itemized list, and looks like briefly she thought the $2 Canadian one was on there, but she says no. So it's been closed all out. Maybe I got free charging. So think about that when you are renting a car. Imagine getting free gasoline. It's not happening. So it's been a few weeks now since the Hertz rental, and after all of this time, there was no additional fees for any of the supercharging that we did. So it didn't show up on my account, and obviously when they closed us out at Hertz, they said, we don't see it, so you're not getting charged for it. So that's probably not going to happen to anybody. I think we just got lucky, if you can even call it that. I mean, it is lucky, but it's not necessarily a perk that I would expect anybody else to get. It was just an anomaly, let's say, and worked out in our favor. So Love the experience. The dual motor was such a treat to drive. It was nice having that extra range when we were driving down to Seattle. So that was really awesome. The car just felt great. And it was nice to have and see the sort of the refinement of this Model 3 just in a couple of years. Just little things that we experienced, like the charging pad on the passenger side. Shannon's iPhone 13 only charges on it if you spin it upside down. It just has to do with the way the camera, the giant bulky camera on there, just doesn't sit flush. But when you flip it upside down, then it actually charges. So our car had always struggled. This car just worked flawlessly. You lay it down and it started charging without having to rotate it. So it was another nice little perk, and just sort of interesting to see how little refinements happen over time. So that's it. That was my experience. If you've rented a Hertz rental car and want to share your experience, let me know in the comments, or let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you've made it this far, I'd love it if you hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what's holding you back? Please do so. It helps out our channel. So thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye, humans.
Okay, listen, everybody. I'm going to go home now.